How's it going, everybody? How's everybody doing on this very, very, very early, wonderful, I believe it was a holiday morning? And I would like to start off with our guest today. We are going to be talking about Dapple and how they do business dirty. Here we go, guys. And I would like to introduce you to Stasha.
Hello,
Introduce yourself.
my name is Stasha. I help uh, him with pages of stuff, whatever he needs, um, or
Pretty
going.
much you're a very good assistant, and you are informative, and you are very, very good, and you're connected to a lot of very important people in this world.
Yeah, when I'm not busy going through all our death threats.
Yes, death threats. That's what we take care of. We conquer that. We take care of business. What kind of topics would you like to talk today? We're talking about the Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I grew up on the Mississippi River in a place called the Quad Cities, which is two cities in Iowa and two in Illinois. Um, I actually have C8 poisoning from DuPont poisoning the Mississippi River. I have five birth defects. I've had about 32 surgeries. So I've been a water protector for a long time. And when I was looking at the map DAPL put out of this particular pipeline, I thought it looked really weird, but I couldn't place it for a while. But I grew up on that river, so I was like, the reason the Iowa Illinois border is so crazy is because that's the river dividing it. DAPL does not have the river on their map for a very specific reason. Um, while they're keeping everyone occupied over here at Standing Rock and keeping all the focus there and saying it's a native issue, they're putting the same pipeline under the Mississippi River just a few miles from my parents' home who knew nothing about it. They led a misdirection campaign trying to say it's just a native issue. And when I did my due diligence on that, come to find out, North Dakota gave them the biggest grant they've ever given, a 740 some thousand dollars for pipeline education that was used for commercials in Iowa and Illinois so that the people there would not know what was happening. The thing is, the Missouri River is a tributary of the Mississippi. It would be horrible if either got contaminated, but with the Mississippi, it provides water to 33 states and a bulk of the farms that provide our food. It also goes down to the Gulf of Mexico. It has the largest group of American bald eagles that breed and nest there every winter. Huge tourist for my hometown. They make a lot of money that way. And there's several, I think I counted 400 and some endangered species in the Mississippi River from Iowa down. So if there was even the tiniest oil spill, it would be absolutely catastrophic. And if the people there knew, I know they would fight. Some of them feel safe, or some of the threats we've gotten, they feel safe because they have a private well. I just want to make something really clear. The Iowa farmers told DAPL, no, you cannot go through our lands. And then those lands were declared eminent domain anyway. If you have a private well and the rivers get contaminated, they will make your well an eminent domain so they can go in and take your water. So don't think if you have a well that's private that you're going to have water forever and be in the clear. That is certainly not going to be the case. And I really want the Midwest people to step up, join forces with Standing Rock. This affects everybody because between the Missouri, the Mississippi, and other tributaries of the Ohio River, we're talking huge waterways. That would be 41 states that would no longer have their clean water in the watersheds. There wouldn't be a way to get enough water for all of us. I don't think oil is worth that. And all the people who write me and say otherwise seem to think they can live off of oil, and you can't. So I don't want anyone else's kids to have to go through all the surgeries I've been through, all the pain I've been through, all the misery I've been through because my water was contaminated. Uh, and I don't think anyone there has a clue about it because they're it's good they're focused on Standing Rock, but there's a reason for that. If you do your research, you'll see that the Iowa farmers have not had the same kind of violence, even though they're also protesting. The other thing I find interesting is that in Iowa, $2.6 million worth of DAPL equipment was ruined by arson. No suspects. Did you hear that on the news? No, but you hear about the peaceful protesters. Uh, I've lived in Iowa. There's a lot of ex-military, a lot of farmers. I didn't expect them to sit quietly. I wasn't sure they'd be able to do anything peacefully. Um, but they're purposely not showing it because they just want to show you and villainize the Native Americans like they have done since they first came to this country and committed genocide, and then to terrorize them further, stole their children, and put faces of white men on their mountain, and not honored a single treaty. Over 500 treaties not honored. And here they are trying to villainize them again. And the people in the Midwest think they're free and clear, and this does not affect them. This is going to affect almost everybody, honestly. Even if you don't live in one of the states, if the other states run out of water, they're going to come to your state, right? How's that going to work? It's going to affect everybody. What are you going to eat when the farms don't have water for the crops? They're just things you need to really think about. Look at the maps, educate yourself. I don't mind if somebody's ignorant. You can be walked out of ignorance. You can be educated out of ignorance. If there's stupidity there, that's just a lack of wanting to know. And I don't have much tolerance for it. So I just wish everyone would do the research, especially if you're in Iowa, Illinois, or if you're anywhere on any river that comes off the Mississippi River. You need to be aware this is your fight too. And I notice a lot of people with kids who don't think it's their fight, and it just really perplexes me. I don't have kids. I'm not going to have kids. When I leave, I'm gone, unless I have a cat left, you know? Here I am, dealing with death threats and putting up with all kinds of stuff to try to protect our earth and the water for everybody. If you have children and you're not in this fight, what are you leaving them? Misery. The planet can live without us. In fact, the planet would probably be better without us. But if we're still here, we need to treat it respectfully. It's Mother Earth. Without her, we have nothing. So that's pretty much how I feel about it.
What do you guys say about the death threats? And what do you say about the people out there who just live death threaten you every day?
I refuse to live in fear. I think it's ridiculous. Sure, I try to be safe, but I'm not going to kowtow to a threat. There's more important things in life, like integrity, my own moral compass, being honest, and, taking care of the people I love and doing what I think is right. I think letting people know what's happening in a truthful way. I may not have the whole truth, but if I have pieces of it and other people do, and we all put it in, we can see the big picture. We can get the puzzle together. So I try not to let them bother me. I actually get more upset when they're directed at you. Because he's like my brother. I'm very protective, and it just drives me crazy. He has important work to do. I don't want him to have to deal with that kind of negativity. Also, why would you spend so much time online trying to tear down someone who's trying to keep water on the planet for you and your kids? It's really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's really confusing to me. But, I'm not going anywhere. You're stuck with me.
So what do you think? Why do you think every one of these individuals, why do you think everybody is targeting me? What drives people from all parts of the world that have this so much talent and skills and knowledge to come share with me?
I think you're one of the biggest targets because they were kind of getting away with their lies, on the news. They were getting away with it. And then you flew your drone right over them and busted that wide open. They can't lie when you've got video footage showing what they're doing. They have no permits. They shouldn't have even been digging. They know it's cheaper to pay the fines. The government lets them get away with that because we're backed by petrol dollars now, not gold dollars. You can research that. I don't have time to explain that one. It's a little complicated. But I think they're afraid of what you are capable with the drone. You can get places where other drone operators can't necessarily get, and show footage that proves they are lying. They can say they're not lying, but people won't believe that until they see otherwise, and your footage shows otherwise. And then they're obviously targeting me just because I help you.
Do you believe that targeting everybody else? That's why I've noticed some of my other helpers have disappeared.
It's hard to say. I don't know who's trolls, who's really targeted. Yeah, there's obviously people in play that, could really cause harm or kill people. I mean, who knows? But I think when you're trying to concentrate on helping and you're just getting inundated with these things, it can tend to make you a little paranoid. I just refuse to be that way, though. And a trait my mother hated in me as a kid, which is now my best trait for getting through surgeries and just stuff like this, is I'm tenacious and stubborn. That's how I've made it through all these surgeries, and that's how I make it through this. I'm just gonna, day by day.
So, as part of your skills and talents in your profession, I do believe you know a lot of insight in legal knowledge, correct?
Yes.
You want to explain and go in depth about that? Perhaps maybe you've been calling out to the legal formalities of the camp, and have they heard you?
No, I haven't been vetted for legal yet. There's several issues. I don't know if they've really been widespread, but the courts there are saying no drone footage in court, no pictures. That's called discovery. It's the law. Sorry. They're saying no out-of-state counsel. That's also the law. It's usually just an easy piece of paper you file and the court just approves it like that. They're saying, they're just saying that they actually put out a statement saying they are too inundated with paperwork from the water protectors. So they're just not going to do it. That's illegal. But because the whole state is bought off, who do we tell? Who do we tell? So my hope is to get to camp and find people who are going to be permanent fixtures at camp, get with them and teach them the due diligence end to free up the lawyers, since they're only currently allowing in-state lawyers. But they're also denying changes of venue, which is insane when Morton County is running ads there saying, look at, these people cost you $23 million for us to protect you from them. From what, really? The only people who have been violent are the police. So I'm hoping we get some really aggressive lawyers in there who fight the court on this. Sure, it's grounds for appeals. I've already seen 7 or 8 things that are grounds for appeals, but understand, while something's being appealed, that water protector's still in jail. They're still away from their family. They're still being treated badly. It's not ideal. So I would like to see it handled beforehand, so someone doesn't sit there for longer. I don't usually say anything unless I've seen the due diligence. So I know a lot of people were tuned in tonight to that radio show that you spoke on. I just want to say I love Mike. I think he's a great asset at camp. He does a lot of work. He does a lot of grunt work. I'm not even going to repeat what she said because it's not worth repeating, but I would say that the due diligence she would have had to done to find out if it was true would have taken me about 4 minutes, and she should have spent the 4 minutes doing the due diligence before she said anything. Because, if he was who she says he was, he would not be doing all that grunt work. Trust me, I deal with these people in my day job. They're not going to sign up to freeze their butts off in the freezing cold winter, carrying wood and splitting wood and taking care of the kids and, stopping a guy with a machine gun without any, peacefully with no weapons and then getting arrested for it. No, nobody's going to do that if they're like some kind of agent. They're going to find some cushy job at camp where they can just surveil everybody. I just adore Mike. And so that kind of upset me, because if you're going to be a journalist, do your due diligence. Just do your due diligence. That's what I do for everything we work on. I think it's important that we don't cause stress to a water protector who left a peaceful, beautiful life to come and protect the earth for his children. So he's already stressed there. He's already in the freezing cold. We don't need to make accusations we don't have proof of. Find your proof first, then show me. And don't say you have proof and then never really say what the proof is. That's how I feel about it. In fact, I'll probably do the due diligence myself and post it later, because I love Mike, and it's like less than 5 minutes. It's not going to take me that long, so I just think it needs to be done now. Is what it is.
Did we fill in? Will you be posting everything you talked about on your page?
Sure, I can do
so
that.
So that people could see the proof?
I can do that. Absolutely.
Awesome. Everything you talked about, people are wanting to know, and they'll you
Just
guys
look
just
at that DAPL map. Look at where that pipeline goes. If you live in the Quad Cities or there on the Iowa-Illinois border, you know that's the Mississippi. You know, the whole border's the Mississippi. The Quad Cities is the only place where the Mississippi runs east to west instead of north to south. So,
hey, hold on, this is an interesting one. Someone said, Google Ministry of Truth. Obama signed in on Christmas Day. It will begin censoring in 6 months.
what's going to be censored? Ministry of Truth? What? I'm not sure what they're talking about there. Yeah, look at the whole watershed map. That's true. Um, absolutely. I mean, we would just. I don't want to say if there's an oil spill, when. If you read their reports, they mostly don't make the news. It's not if, it's when. And then they've been trying to rush this through so people over here wouldn't realize what they were doing while they were attacking people over at Standing Rock. So the fact that it's a rush job and they're digging in winter and when they normally wouldn't, that's just adding more and more things to what could go wrong. They don't care about the people at all. At all. So it would be catastrophic. Absolutely catastrophic. I almost want to cry thinking about it because I used to go see the bald eagles at the Mississippi River Lock and Dam with my dad every winter. It was one of the only cool things to do because I'm from a small town that didn't have much to do. And just to watch them swim down and get a fish out of the river and watch them in their nest and absolutely gorgeous. And I spent almost every waking moment in the water. I'm a triple Pisces, so I was either swimming or in the Mississippi River swimming and tubing or whatever. I was always there. And to think of the just what would happen if and when oil leaked in there would be horrible. Pay special attention if you're in Lee County, Iowa, because a pipeline is going under outside of Keokuk. I have a couple friends that live there actually, and there are some groups for Iowa trying to stand with the farmers, but we need to quit letting DAPL cause this division between Standing Rock and the farmers, treating them
Yes.
differently, having them get attacked, ignoring this over here. We need to get all these people. We all need to come together. We don't have to like each other.
Exactly.
We don't have to agree on everything, but we have to be able to work together to keep clean water. It's not something that should be sold. It's a right. It's a right. We should get it. So they have caused this division. And the fact that not a single person I know back in the Quad Cities, and a lot, I lived there my whole childhood, knows anything about this, I was horrified because I know how strong they are there, and I know how they acted when DuPont poisoned the river and how they ran them out. If we can get them on board, if they realize what's happening and join forces with Standing Rock, I don't think we can be stopped. And that's why I think we get death threats, because they're afraid. They're afraid we're going to get people to see what they're up to. They're afraid we're going to get different factions to join together against them. And that terrifies them because we have the truth behind us.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
That's right, guys. I unify with the best people and the most knowledgeable people and the most smartest people. Well, actually, they just come to me. But I'm always respected, and I'm honored that a lot of great people around the world, besides Dash over here, and all the street warriors of the Bay Area, everybody's got my back. Everybody's willing to go 110% out of their way to protect me and to protect what I have in my heart and protect what I know in my mind. And I seen that as I came here to the Bay Area. Boop, boop, boop. All these followers popped up everywhere around town, and they welcomed me with open arms, and provide me with anything I need, even down all the way down to Oakland too. Everyone's saying, "Oh, don't bring your drone to Oakland. Oh, be careful there." You know what? There are beautiful people there, man. They're struggling just like us over there on Standing Rock. You know, you understand them. They're good people.
should tell your followers. I love you all very much, but you are a very rowdy and passionate bunch. Um, if something happens with him, I have his back. And if you're sending me a million messages because you're worried about him, I'm not writing back for any other reason than I am on the phone making phone calls and figuring out what's happening and how I can help him immediately. So, patience. If it's something like that, as soon as I know he's fine, I will let you know. But I'm not going to say anything until I know 100% what's going on, where he is, what's happening, and what I need to do to handle it. Um, so, I know a few weeks ago a bunch of you were really upset. It took me 6 hours to find him. And then it took even longer to get it arranged, get everything figured out. So I didn't say anything because there wasn't anything to tell you yet. And also keep in mind with the water protectors that have been arrested, everyone's very curious what happened, this and that. From a legal standpoint, they can talk if they want to, but I would suggest, and I'm sure legal counsel would suggest, they keep their mouth shut until all the cases are handled. It's better for everybody involved. So when you send questions like that, if you don't get an answer, there's a legal strategy behind what's going on. It's not because they don't care that you're writing. It's just, if you got arrested, would you want everyone talking about it before you went to the judge when you have to go before a corrupt state that's racist against your race? No, you wouldn't. So, I love you all. Yes, you can put his face on a shirt. I know he won't care. You want your face on a shirt? But you better send me one. You better send me one.
No.
I was gonna say send him one, but I don't know if he'll wear it.
Well, guys, that is a nice, wonderful live feed. We speak nothing but the truth, all the truth. So let's all pray and unify and respect each other and do what's right. Because like I said, I roll with the best. I get protected by the best. And I didn't ask for it. It just came to be, and I respect that in a good way. And now I truly understand, and I know why. Why am I targeted? Because I speak the truth. I walk in the road of honesty and raw reality of truth, man. That's the way it goes. It's how you gotta do it. It's the way you gotta live it. No one's perfect. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, no one's perfect. That said, I'm going to bed. I got a nice special trip tomorrow at 9. And I'll be busting out the drone for some very, very beautiful scenery. And I'll be talking about Mother Earth and how she's going to come back to being beautiful all over again.